Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm BRIT with Thriving Scribes, and today I'm going to talk about what to do as an author when you hit those seasons that you're just feeling completely overwhelmed. So let me preface this lesson here by letting you guys know that I completely understand overwhelm. I am so familiar with it. There has been times in my author journey and life in general where things have just built up and I found myself so overwhelmed. I also am a person who suffers from chronic depression, and so on top of overwhelm, I'm also dealing with depression stages all throughout my life where I just don't feel like doing anything that I originally planned on doing, and my goals just don't seem that exciting anymore. So, regardless of all of that, I've developed a system here for helping myself keep going, keep up my momentum, or at least manage my overwhelm and minimize it so that it is manageable. So believe me when I say that you are not alone in feeling overwhelmed with your author goals or goals in general, or just things that you've done. You could be overwhelmed with your project. You could be overwhelmed with your deadline. You could be overwhelmed with managing all the different aspects of authorship and your family and your day job. There's so many things that can tie into being overwhelmed. And so today I'm going to share some tips that can maybe help you make overwhelm manageable. The first thing that I want to talk about here is to reassess everything that you've put on your plate. Because sometimes you may have set some really realistic goals according to how much you can get done, while at other times when you were planning, you may have completely overestimated what you would be able to do in any given time frame. So the first thing you should do is assess the time that you've given yourself and all of the things you're trying to fit into that time. So look at it with a level head and see if you have overbooked yourself. Are there things that are unnecessary to be working on right now that you can set aside for later and unburden yourself from those? Or are there expectations that you've put in place with yourself that you can let go of to free some of your time? And is it possible to set a deadline back a little bit and readjust your schedule so that you are not losing your mind trying to reach something? Because sometimes deadlines are just that, they're deadlines, while other times it's kind of like a self-imposed deadline where if you're really just killing yourself over this, that you can just let it go, give yourself some more time, and get back into the flow. The second thing is to identify your behavior, because sometimes overwhelm is like a blanket for what's really happening below the surface. For example, when I am having those spouts of depression, it's very obvious that my overwhelm is most likely stemming from the fact that I'm just not in the right headspace. So for instance, some of the things you may need to be asking yourself is, am I acting out of fear? Is my overwhelm stemming from something I'm afraid of that's coming up? And if that's the case, then overwhelm may not be what you really need to be focusing your attention on. It may be needing to deal with fear and learning how to handle that. If that's the case, I've got a video on that as well, and you'll find the card up here if you want to go check that out. Because the truth is, fear is a great catalyst in the fact that it initiates a reaction from us. It initiates an action. So if fear initiated the action for you to procrastinate and not get anything done, or to feel overwhelmed, then maybe you need to reel back and start working on handling that fear. Number 3, don't dismiss self-care. When you're overwhelmed and you've got a lot on your plate and a lot you've got to do, it's easy to just work harder, work more, when in reality what you may need is to actually step back from that and care for yourself. Show yourself some attention and do some things that are going to refill your cup so that when you do work, you're not working harebrained, you've got a level head. And finally, the last tip that I have for you here in handling overwhelm is to remember your why. Last week, I talked all about why knowing what your why is awesome in helping with keeping up momentum toward your goals. And so I'll have a card up here for you to check that out as well if you are interested in learning more about your why and how to create that and why it's so important. But just to address it here, when you're overwhelmed, being able to reflect back on your why and remember why you're doing what you're doing and how that is going to impact you or others can be really helpful in sort of calming yourself down, taking a deep breath, and then coming back to your work and able to approach it level-headedly. I hope this video has been helpful in allowing you to handle and manage overwhelm a bit better. I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel because every week I'm putting out videos just like this for authors just like you. I'll see you next Monday, and remember, I'm always rooting for you. Bye. Hey Scribe, want access to more authorly goodness? Then go join my free Thriving Scribe Tribe, where you'll find tons of resources and freebies exclusively for authors like you. You'll also get access to my free tribe Facebook group, where writers join together and encourage each other every single day. And you'll be signed up for my weekly newsletter, which is filled with inspiration and information to help you build your author empire. See you there.